Welcome to The Advisory, Australia's graceless, psychedelic advice show, guiding you through the troubles of life, love, and all the weird shit in between. David, super quick reminder at the top of the show for Friday Night Fright Fest, our month-long horror movie marathon. It starts next Friday, October 6th at 6 p.m. AEST here on Twitch. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but David, I'm going to level with you.
Yeah.
When I was in the 8th grade, we had to do square dancing for PE, and I danced with this girl named Vanessa.
Okay.
And I don't remember the dance, but we had to hold hands, and I fell head over heels in love with her. She was really out of my league, so I never had the courage to approach her, but I used to have vivid fantasies about dating her, marrying her, and having a life with her. She moved the first year in high school, so I thought I'd never see her again. I saw her at Safeway yesterday. She looked exactly the same as I had. She looked exactly the same, and I had to say hello. I asked her if she was Vanessa, and she said yes. I said she probably doesn't remember me, but we went to middle school together, and she said that she remembered dancing with me in PE. I was stoked.
Okay.
I was so stoked that I went into telling her how much I was in love with her back then, but was too afraid to approach. And she always seemed sweet, and she was still beautiful. I said that my silly schoolboy had dreams of marrying her and having kids, and I even had names for the kids picked out.
Oh, okay.
I asked what she was doing now, and she said she's getting her master's in architecture, and it turns out that the office she works out of is right down the street from my work.
Okay.
She said she had to go, and I asked for her number, and she gave it to me and said maybe we could catch up with a group of friends sometime. You think that's perfectly okay?
So
let's catch up with a group of friends sometime. Immediately says, I'm not interested in you, dude. I don't want to hang out with you one-on-one. Whenever we're going to kick it, there's going to be a bunch of other people around.
100%. That is 100% the vibe that I'm picking up. Yes.
I was stoked. And we said goodbye. About 10 minutes later, I thought of the name that I wanted to name our kids because it was based on a book that we were reading in ELA. Is that like English learning? Something?
English learning advanced or something?
Flowers of Algernon.
Okay, well, it's called Flowers for Algernon, but sorry, keep going. It's for Algernon, not of. Keep going though.
Well, hey, his words, not mine.
Yeah. No, I know. I just don't want to be misrepresenting.
For sure.
Yeah.
The book we were reading in ELA, Flowers of Algernon. So I FaceTimed her to tell her. She didn't answer, and I got this text. And it said, hi. I'm sorry, but this whole encounter was really intense for me. I wish you well, but please don't contact me again. My cousin said that text was as blunt as it could be without using swear words. She said I was fine to say hello. I was weird when I told her about my daydreams, and I was a certified asshole when I tried to FaceTime her 10 minutes later, and she doesn't even have words for what I'd be if I stopped by her office. I'd like to get a second opinion. Was I really so wrong? Is there any way to repair this relationship now? And David, that's from No General 6097 on Reddit.
That's unhinged. To bump into somebody that you met during childhood, and the first thing that you say, so you go, oh, what are you up to? So I do this, that, and the fit. You go, oh, cool. Well, I've actually, when we were in primary school together, I was fully in love with you and planned out our entire life, and I named our kids, and that was really cool. Can I have your phone number? And she's like, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Panics, says yes, and then walking back to her office going, how do I diffuse the situation? Gets not a phone call, not a text message, a FaceTime call from you.
Yeah.
That's okay. This just because you've been thinking about her for all of these years does not mean this is the first time she's thought about you since you fucking square danced or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're acting
it was literally like he's like, oh, you probably don't remember this. And she's like, oh yeah, we danced together like that one time. And he's like, oh my God. Was it as revelatory an experience for her as it was for me? It must be, because she's remembered it. and she
Maybe
told me
she
about it.
lied. Maybe she lied about remembering. She did that panic thing where she's like, "What you know, like when you're out at like an event or something, and someone's like, oh my god, I fully met you at this thing,' and in your head you're like, I never went to that thing,' and you're like, of course, how could I forget? Like,
Yeah.
you think she's done that one?
Maybe. Hold on. It says, and she said, well, it said we went to middle school together, and she said that she remembered us dancing in PE. You know, so
yeah, but he might be self-editing. Okay, but I want to let's follow this through though, because
maybe
what does he imagine?
That could have been the green light where he was like, oh, she remembers, and she remembers me because it was such an impressive, informative experience, our dancing together in PE. Now, of course, that is the social green light for me to tell her about my deepest, darkest, wildest, longest, insane, psychotic, vivid fantasies that I had about her.
If you have that in the chamber, if you have that like vivid fantasy, I thought about the names we would call our kids. We would get married and go move to a cottage in this suburb. If you have that in the chamber, that's the shit. You wanna, if that's true, if that's truly true and you bump into this person, keep that shit for when you propose. Like 7 years later.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, we were always meant to be together.
I feel like bumping into someone is, you're supposed to just be like, if you're gonna mention this at all, you keep it so light, so delicate. You say, funny actually, I always had a crush on you. And that's it, maximum. That's it, maximum.
They go, oh, that's crazy. Well, I work, over there. We should get a coffee sometime. And then it's normal and not weird.
Yes. And not, hold on. Oh my God, Vanessa, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. Where's my bit of paper that I had with our kids' names on it? Oh, no, it's in one of my pockets somewhere. I'll just try and remember it. So anyway, I had these vivid fantasies about you.
I left my clipping of your hair at home today. Otherwise, I'd show you that. Because I do fully, definitely still.
Could I get a new one? Actually, just like while I'm here, I sort of have
fresh.
Could I get sort of like 2023 Vanessa hair to sort of go on my Hey Arnold style shrine that I have hidden in the back of my closet?
It's also. Do you not think it's weird to be like the way this is written, where he's like, I was in 8th grade, like I was in love with her or whatever, and then instead of being like, oh my God, like she's grown up into like such a beautiful woman, like whatever, he's like, no, she looks exactly the same, and I'm still into it. Like, that can't be good, I don't think, and also can't be true.
Right? Yeah, I mean,
schematically, humans. Don't look like
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but are we being maybe because like look. Let's be real for a second. All right, let's put our citizen hat on. Okay, regular man about town, right?
I've got a big head, and I like it.
Is this weird? Yes. Did he handle it the best? No. Now let's put on our professional advice-giving hat, and let's try not to pass judgment. Actually, he did say he wanted to get a second opinion. So maybe this minor sort of lashing that we're giving him now is relevant because he did ask for a second opinion. And the official second opinion is your cousin was pretty much on the money. This is super strange. Yeah.
Pretty much. It's the FaceTime that clinches it, because how do you expect that conversation to go? Right, like this is what I keep turning over. I'm trying to like figure out what he thinks the throughput of that is.
Yeah,
like it's gonna do like the right. And she's gonna answer it and then be like,
and he's gonna go, Vanessa, hi. What's up, dude? It's me, John. Yep, still at the shop that we were just in. Obviously, you see, still here, in the pasta aisle. Probably gonna do like arancini tonight or something. I haven't sort of like done that in a while. Got some leftover.
Yeah, why are you calling me though?
Sorry. Like... Anyway, yeah. Really quick. I remembered our love child's name. Actually,
well,
it just sort of came across my mind, and I just remembered it. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, that dancing was sort of like you remember it because it was such an informative, special period in your life.
It's the only thing I remember about you is how great
my dance moves are. Yeah. Well,
No,
I'll
just
tell
that
you
was
what,
the one
I've had
time
a
we
couple of years
interacted.
to get a few more dance lessons under my belt. So maybe maybe we should go dancing sometime, and then I can maybe remember all of the other names of the kids that we were going to have. I have actually, you'll love this because you're an architect, actually. So I have, I sort of drew these up. This was sort of around college time. The blueprint schematics for what our house would look like that we got together. So I think you'll really like that. Maybe we could get a coffee sometime and we could work on that together, because I'd love to get sort of like a professional architectural insight on sort of what our little dream cottage together looks like in our future with our 3 children.
Dude, what are you fucking we spoke twice, and the second time was after that dance, and that's why I never danced again, because you put me off so thoroughly, and that's why I haven't forgotten it. I can't, but why are you FaceTime me? I was trying to be polite by answering this, but
you never danced again because I feel like you hit the peak pinnacle of dancing when you danced with me, and it's like, what am I ever going to...
2 kids. I don't understand what you expect from me here.
I saw a TikTok the other day, which was someone talking about you get...
Wait, is that the bit? This isn't the...
No, this can still be him. No. I saw a TikTok the other day, actually, Vanessa, where they were saying that people who surf those big... that they hunt those big sort of like Maui waves, those like building size waves. They're the big wave surfers. They're huge adrenaline junkies. The adrenaline can sometimes be so much to process, too much for the human brain, more than the human brain is supposed to process, that it actually turns the rest of your life into sort of like an empty husk shell, and you don't really see the point in living anymore, or sort of like what the point is of things anymore. And I think maybe that's what happened to you with me dancing, is that you dance the dance so good at the peak pinnacle at such a young age. It's like, how do I ever dance again? Well, I'm here to say that I am coming back into your life. The dance moves have only gotten better. And if you dare, me and you, we do this tango one more time. What do you say?
All right, well, I'm going to go home to, again, my husband and kids. This whole encounter has been really intense for me. And like,
I could drive you home.
I wish you well. You seem really nice, but please never contact me again. Click. So it kind of ends the same way. Yeah.
It's so weird that Vanessa didn't notice that he had left the store on FaceTime and was sprinting down the street. Yeah. And then...
Well, she's not looking at it. She's lost interest.
And then looking in her phone, she could see herself coming up behind her. So she could see him. Oh, terrifying. You know?
It's a particular, like, new age horror film thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine? Actually, that's actually quite a spook. That would be fucking freaky. Like, to see someone that you're talking to running up behind you in the FaceTime. That's someone should use that. That's good. It's powerful stuff.
Man, there's something similar to that in a horror movie that I watched pretty recently. That was really good. I can't remember the name of it, and I'm going to be kicking myself this whole time.
Listen, if you remember, I can put it in the show notes. The question that we have in front of us, James, is there any way to repair the relationship now? Because I think we got to give it the old college try.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll come in, and what I'm going to do is as you're giving your advice, I'm going to be digging next to you and planting in the headstone for their relationship, because I think it's fully dead and buried. It's very hard to come back from immediately word vomiting these decades-long fantasies that you've had about this person. Yeah,
it does. On first blush, it seems irretrievable. Let me hit you with this.
Yeah.
Okay. You research her online. Now, this is going to start sounding bad, but I promise it gets good. You research her, find out where she lives.
It does. They do say it gets worse before it gets better, and this does sound like it's getting worse.
James, the night is darkest before the dawn. Okay.
Oh,
now
they always say that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry. I feel like that was like a reflex. I'm not sorry. So you hire 2 like university students who know how to work cameras, and you go onto like Gumtree and you put out an ad for an Ashton Kutcher lookalike. And then what you do is you hire him as an actor, and you turn up at their front door, and Ashton Kutcher is there. Knock, knock, knock. Hi, Dana, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yep.
Vanessa, whatever. And he goes, "Hey, you've been punked. You'll never believe it. We convinced your friend to punk you. That was all fully fictitious. He's a normal guy that isn't insane." And then she goes, "Oh my God, I'm on TV." She's so grateful. She says, "Do you want to maybe get a drink or something?"
To me or Ashton Kutcher?
Well, if we're being realistic, probably to Ashton Kutcher. But I mean, it's a 50-50. She might be, I don't know. It's a tricky.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I do like the pranked you bro angle of it. Yeah, it's very,
good, right? Yeah.
It's very, and it feels very, remember when that Sam Pepper guy did like a really egregious prank and then people were like, "Hey, that's actually assault." And then he said, "Oh, what I meant was that was number one video in a series of prank social experiments, guys. They were social experiments, and now it's okay and will make sense when the other ones come out, even though I don't think they did." Yeah.
It's not harassment if it's like filmed. So I think I'm good.
And it's very 2023 prank culture anyway, where you sort of just do the bad thing to someone. You know, it's kind of like when, like, if
with no punchline.
Exactly. Like, if I threw like a cup of human piss into your face, and then, you know, Colin comes running out from around the corner with, you know, a camera phone, and we go, "Pranked you, pranked. And then you go, "Oh, guys, you silly gooses." Even though,
I hate human piss.
Though you do still have a face full of human piss. Yeah. So
now
is pranked you sort of like, because you're still doing the thing, but hey, just want to let you know there's no ill intent here. Even though it is still seemingly quite malicious, I just want to let you know that there's no ill intent. It's just a goof for the camera.
Is it like the reality version of the, like, you know, don't go to jail card in Monopoly? Like, it's like a get out of jail free card where, like, if you just go, "Oh, nah, prank." You're clear. Like,
Your Honor, I think you'll find that. Thank you, the people gathering in the court today. Yes, I will be defending myself. I don't plan on paying one of those fucking psyop piece of shit lawyers who are trying to scam my bank account. Okay.
So I realized that. Before you provide your opening statement, I just again would strongly advise you against representing yourself. We have plenty of public attorneys that could assist you. This is just, again, my final warning that this is not a good idea.
Okay.
And the court is only looking out for you.
Absolutely. So. I like to reclaim my minutes, obviously. And if the fucking shill sitting with the gavel and the wig could stop interrupting me, the corporate shill sitting up there, I would like to reclaim my minutes and I would like to continue on with my case.
Is he speaking to me? Jesus Christ. Yeah, you know what? Go for it. Opening statements.
Thank you. I reclaim those minutes as well. I reclaim those minutes. Thank you.
Sorry, you keep saying reclaim those minutes. What does that mean?
People of the court, if you could direct your attention to me and away from the buffoon in the wig for a second, and I reclaim those minutes. I would just like to...
You keep saying that.
Obviously, my defense today is it was just a prank, obviously. Obviously, we filmed it. I know that he ended up getting sort of like pierced into an open wound and developed sepsis, but it wasn't my intent. Actus reus, mens rea. I read a couple things in a book.
No,
right?
That's not.
And mens rea actus reus. Yes, he has the sepsis, but I didn't do it with intent. At the very least, it was. What's the prank version? Sorry, corporate shill, man. What's the
Oh, now you need me. Okay.
I reclaim those minutes. What is
that? You keep saying that.
I reclaim those minutes as well. What's the sort of prank version of attempted murder?
I mean, in your case, I guess attempted assault. because that's what you did.
Okay, that doesn't really help my argument. I reclaim those minutes. So I guess people of the court, I'm an everyman, you're an everyman and woman, and obviously don't fall victim to the corporate shills, obviously, like this guy. And obviously, it's a prank, bro. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Well, I mean...
please subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I reclaim those minutes. I reclaim those minutes. Thank you. Everyone subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Prank Buster 420 on YouTube. Thank you, everyone.
As bizarre of an experience that was, I have no choice but to dismiss this case because, as the defendant said, it was a prank, bro. Verdict rendered.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Everyone in the jury is standing and cheering. Thank you so much, everyone. Wow. Thank you.
Come here. He kept fucking saying, I reclaimed these. Do you know what the fuck he was talking about?
We're allowed to drink in here, yeah? We can drink in here? That guy's got a water bottle.
Sorry,
it seems chill.
So I'm just consulting with...
That's good.
Doom juice. Out of here. Just get him out of here, please. Doom juice, you said? What is that?
I reclaim this minute. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys. Check out my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck.
And scene. You know, it's times like these, James, I wish I owned a wig.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
because I could have just pulled that bad boy on.
You could have PNG'd one in, you know what I mean? And just sort of moved it around on top of your head. Yeah.
I could have followed me face tracker style.
Solved, obviously. And not
solved
guilty.
From a dozen angles.
Solved and not guilty. So thank you.
Yes. Solved and exonerated on all charges.
David, I'll tell you who is guilty. My husband, because he keeps calling his parents mummy and daddy.
Ooh.
I can't help but deeply cringe every time I hear him on the phone referring to his parents as mummy and daddy. He only does it when speaking to them or his brother, for example. What's daddy up to? Can mummy do XYZ? I just feel it's a bit of a turn off. How can I get him to stop? Thank you.
It's very uncomfortable for me, James.
Yeah?
It's very uncomfortable for me hearing that.
You did like
hearing that, it's very uncomfortable.
You've really sort of worked yourself into quite an uncomfortable little perched stance there.
I've turtled up against the words that you said.
You have turtled up, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in defense mode because this is my ultimate nightmare, James, is people that do shit like this. This is like grown people that say yummy. I don't know why, but that icks me out.
Where is my notebook to make a note of that so I can work it into my life?
Oh, it makes me so uncomfortable. Fucking hell. Now
that could be sorry, if I'm out to dinner with you're out to dinner with someone, right? And then you go, the fucking Penang curry, dude, that looks really good. How is it? And they go, it's yummy.
A part of me cringes. And I realize it's a normal word. I don't know why.
So let's say, for instance, you meet, you know, in your eyes, you know, the perfect woman, right?
Yeah.
Gorgeous, right? And she's into books and she's into writing and she's into all of the cut and paste, David ×2 plus gorgeousness. For the female kind, you're a gorgeous man, so don't take offense.
Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. Absolute, you know, across the board, your ideal partner.
I did date someone like this, so I'm imagining her in this scenario.
Perfect. Now, let's say she says mummy and daddy. Like one time you guys are sitting around and you're having a glass of wine, you're on the couch, you're watching some fucking Star Wars show or whatever, the one that you love so much. And she's like, can you believe that this is just like a detective story but set in Star Wars or something? I'm trying to vaguely remember things that you've said about the show. Yeah.
No, this is good.
This is
cosplaying as me is great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh, hold on, just really quick. I'm just getting a phone call really quickly. And you hit pause. Hi, mummy. Yes, of course. David, are you free on the weekend? Would you like to come to breakfast with mummy and daddy? You would, yes. Mm-hmm. He seems very keen. Yes, he's very excited about it. 8:30 a.m. Let's do it. All right. Love you, mummy. Love you, daddy.
Right.
Tell daddy I love him. All right. Love you. Bye.
You can keep watching. I just need to have a shower. I just need a minute.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
yeah, I thought of something that freaks me out. I'm just gonna grab a quick shower.
No
I feel kind of
worries.
weird. Yeah, so
So that happens to you, right? Is it a deal breaker?
Here's the thing. If it was okay for that person, no.
Yeah,
but I too would be like,
thank you. That is the correct answer. Sorry.
But I too would go,
You
okay,
pass. I don't have a ding, but ding, you pass.
Yeah. However, how do I get her to stop doing it? Is a question I would think to myself. I wouldn't do it because it's her life and she's free to live it. But every time she says that, a part of me would turtle up. Part of my soul would turtle up a little bit, and it would take there would be things I would have to do to make that unturtle to get back to normal.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think sort of like the easiest way to do that is to sort of get them to change what they're saying.
No, that's what I was saying. I wouldn't get them to change. I would just
you've got to work on yourself.
I've got to find ways to relieve that ick,
Ick. Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
So how do you get them to stop? It's a great question. A tale as old as time.
I mean, we're pretty good at making people stop stuff. It's getting people to do stuff we often struggle with. I think let's just lay out the difficult terrain that we are about to transverse effortlessly. Okay. You kind of have to intervene socially in their relationship with their parents for your own benefit.
Right.
Which is extremely selfish and kind of weird. But this is what the question asker has asked of us, James, and we take advice very seriously here.
Yes.
So
sometimes even like lawyers, we have to defend the criminals, is what you're saying.
James, even the baddies deserve a fair advice trial.
Love it. Perfect. Yeah.
Yep. I said it with such confidence as well. I wonder if this isn't again a scenario where you look for a substitution angle. Do you know what I mean?
Plenty of substitutions.
Plenty of substitutions.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously the normal ones aren't going to stick. Dad and mom, that's off the table. Seems like because that's a quick slide back into daddy and mommy with a slip of the tongue.
Yeah. So maybe a bigger shift where you go, big M, big D.
That's don't love Big D.
Who's that? Fucking huge D over there. See who that is.
Gigantic D.
Yeah.
Mountainous D.
Pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, Supreme D. I mean, the other thing I was thinking is like
Supreme
this
D.
is gonna...
Jeez. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is gonna sound bad, but it will get better. I promise.
Okay.
What if you alienated her from her parents such that she reverted to calling them by their first names as a distancing method? So instead of mommy and daddy, it's Sandra and Clyde.
Right. I understand the method there, but I probably distance myself pretty vigorously from emotionally manipulating this person into no longer having a relationship with their seemingly wonderful mum and dad, who they seem to have like a great relationship with them. Well, at least distancing
like
and enough.
Comfortable one. Yeah.
Right. So
it's the first names you object to then. You would have me convince her to call them something else during that process, is what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sort of I guess I would say that I am fighting back against the entire process itself. It just sort of seems to fall outside of the necessary solutions for an option like this, particularly when you have so many things available to you, like play an irritating sound on your phone each time he says mummy or daddy. So that way it's kind of like this Pavlovian conditioning where they sort of stop saying it to stop hearing the sound. But obviously you have to do that in a way where they don't know that you're the one producing the sound, because then you're going to become embroiled in it. So try to, use a creative approach when it comes to that.
Right.
For sure. So I would maybe even go to the mum and dad and say, hey, look, I'm the best, dude. When it comes to like women in your son's life, I fuck. Okay? I am top tier. I'm the best thing that's ever happened to your son. Let's get real. Okay?
Oh, okay. Interesting. Now, yeah, I'm with you so far. Yep.
Here's what I need you guys to do. And I'm willing to do a trade. Okay? I'll help curtail some behavior in him that I know that you guys don't like, and let's dance around. Let's not do the dance, okay? Let's cut through the bullshit, okay? I'll get him to change some behavior that you don't like, but you have to get him to change a behavior that I don't like. And then they'll say, what? And then you say, he calls you mummy and daddy. Maybe you guys can request that he doesn't. Maybe it makes you guys feel uncomfortable. Broker a deal with them is what I'm saying.
Just to be clear, you were high-roading me for manipulating the partner, but now your plan is to use the parents to manipulate the partner, and that's better for some reason?
Yeah, of course. Familial bond, and it's less weird coming from them. Sorry, yours was to alienate them from the people in their life that love and care for them dearly. Mine is to work in unison, collaboratively as a team with the family, which is only going to strengthen familial bonds. Thank you very much.
Wow. I can't believe I just got high-roaded about that. I mean, look, listen, hey, we both agree that manipulating someone is the solution, it sounds like.
And as long as that person's not you doing the manipulating, I think you're scot-free.
Oh.
If this comes out, dude, plausible deniability every day of the week.
Show me the receipts. I don't have it. There aren't any. Show me the paper trail.
And when he
there
says,
isn't one.
He goes, look, mum and dad said that, he's like, I overheard a conversation they were having where they, and they confronted me. It was pretty fucked up, actually. Ashton Kutcher were there. There was a whole big like TV crew. I thought I was being punked. It turns out they redid that show Intervention. And I don't know why they got Ashton Kutcher to host it, actually, because it's like really confusing culturally for people.
What else is he doing? Like, what else is he up to? Like, he's not.
What's he doing?
Free. Yeah. He's free.
He's just spending his time writing character testimonies for convicted rapists. Apparently,
but like I said, he's free. No one else is giving him jobs.
So, it was really confusing because I did see Ashton Kutcher there, and everyone knows him as being obviously the punked man.
That's his thing. And
they said that that you wanted me to stop calling them mummy and daddy, and then you just go, "What? That's crazy."
Do you hear yourself? Do you fucking hear yourself?
What are you saying right now?
Just let me play that back to you, and then you tell me if it sounds crazy to you, because I don't know what like.
Yeah, I don't. Now that I think about it, I don't actually know anything about that whole Ashton Kutcher situation and the character testimony thing. So
for sure.
Yeah, so I could be wrong. I have no idea. Don't listen to me. Do your own research.
Do your own research.
I clearly haven't. do the research that I clearly haven't, and I've just said something about it.
Look, I know a little bit more, but it's not fun or funny, so we're gonna move on.
Oh, for sure. No one wants to talk about it. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it is.
No, I know. From a disclaimer perspective, don't assume that what James just said is accurate. It is, but it's not the full anyway.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes. And I feel like that's pretty easy to be like, I think you calling your parents mummy and daddy is actually pretty cute.
What's happened? What is this?
Yeah. Well, that's when they're coming at you, being like, my parents said that you didn't want me to, and then you're like, I wouldn't say that. That's not me.
Your defense is that you like it, actually.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to act that one out.
That's a thin line to tread, isn't it?
You have to
Because she might start calling you hubby. You got to face that reality. That's possible. Sorry, wifey, I guess. I don't know what the equivalent is.
He might. I mean, but that's sort of
less weird.
But in that instance, it's a pet name for you, so you can have more input over it. You'd be like, I don't really like.
You could workshop it.
He's calling her wifey, and she's like, I prefer, and then blah blah blah. Easier to like course correct that one.
I prefer highest queen of my heart and soul. Like, and then he goes, okay, well, it's wordy, but if that's what you want.
I prefer that you refer to me as your stars and your moon. Please and thank you. Yeah.
Please. And not hyphenated and all capitalized. And I'll thank you to do it every time. Address me as that in text message. Don't say hi.
Yes.
Okay. You understand the procedure here. And if you don't, I'm going to be pissed. We're going to have a row about it.
And you fucking better say it in public, dude. I don't care if we're out at like one of your fucking friends' barbecues or whatever the fuck. You will refer to me.
Social function. You'll fucking get it right.
You will call me your stars and your moon. Say it now. Practice. You know what I mean?
And then, you'll mean it. You'll fucking mean it.
Exactly.
And if I think you don't mean it, that doesn't fucking count. And we'll wait till you say it like you mean it.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah.
Shit.
I like slipped into like a teacher voice then. That was
spooky. It's I don't really like the I don't love the sort of like the energy that we're injecting into the advice universe today. It does seem very It seems a lot more heavy-handed than we normally get. You know what I mean?
For my part at least, I had a weird experience today. Good disclaimer.
Yeah,
sorry,
I just want to sort of
you were gonna say
I just want to put in the disclaimer and sort of just take this opportunity now, 39 minutes deep on the episode, to say, hey, look, this is all of our advice, and we should really start the episode by saying this. It's very R.L. Stine, choose your own adventure, okay? We just we're just spitballing, okay? We're like a consultancy firm, really, who are in no way have any responsibility to deliver outcomes whatsoever. We just say stuff.
No accountability.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, it's good stuff, but we can't be held accountable for how the universe reacts to it, okay? Like, because what we're saying is good.
So true, yeah. And if it doesn't work,
do you know what I'm saying? That's on you.
You probably fucked it up somewhere.
Execution failed. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Very quickly, just on the like teacher voice thing, you'll appreciate this because it's another DMAC being an insane person in reality moment.
Okay.
So I went for a run this morning, which did not last long because I'm really tired at the moment because of my just other shit. And so it was a brief run, and I was like, well, I'll just walk the rest of the track. And the track that I walk and run goes to a primary school, and a lot of kids will bike along the creek, the track that I go on to get to school. Okay. And I was walking, and there was a bunch of kids biking past me, and one of them didn't have a helmet on. And this dude in like
because it's grown man. It's school holidays, school holiday energy. I'm biking around with no helmet. Stay out of my biz. I'm cruising.
Now here's where it gets interesting. A grown ass man. Now, for those of you who don't know, in Australia, school holidays doesn't mean holidays for the teachers. They come back a week early or whatever. So a lot of the teachers going back at some point, private schools, all different schedules. The main thing you need to know is that teachers are heading to that school that day to work, and the kids are fucking around on holiday.
Yeah.
Now, a fully grown man who I can only speculate, he's in the decked out cycling gear. He's got the road cycling bike.
Oh, no.
He has on the helmet.
Yeah.
He has on the fluorescence and the skin tight situation. Like, he's decked to the nines.
The most aerodynamic man in the park. Yeah.
That man is a bullet through air. Okay.
Oh, isn't he just?
He's carving. And he's fanging up toward this group of kids. And as I'm kind of a couple feet behind them because they're not cycling particularly quickly. And he starts yelling at the kid not wearing a helmet to put a helmet on. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, that's fucking weird, right? Like, immediately I'm like, red flags. And it's not just yelling. It's like PE bully teacher yelling.
Oh,
he's
okay,
like, Oi, fucking stop. Fucking put your fucking helmet on. Put your helmet on. Listen, oi, stop. And the kid's just cycling because he's a fucking kid. And then
does the kid have a helmet with him?
He does.
Okay.
And this This guy slingshots up to him on his like, you know, $4,000
NASCAR
carbon
style.
fiber rope.
He's riding behind the second kid to like get, you know, to get in his slipstream, and then he fucking fangs it around him, and he's like
music.
Exactly.
John
and
Wick
he's like
playing.
fucking lasering up to this kid. Yeah. It's a big moment for him. Yeah.
He cuts the kid off and like puts his front wheel in front of the kid's front wheel to force him to stop.
Oh, okay. I'm going to show you why you need a helmet when I crack your fucking skull all the way open by launching you off your handlebars, which is way safer. What a fucking gronk.
Insane. So he stops the kid, and then he's like yelling he's this close to the kid, and he's yelling at him, and he's going, "You don't fuck." He's like, he's not swearing. That's just I always swear, but he's like, "You don't realize that I'm a teacher at insert school name here, and if you don't put a helmet on right now, just you wait, you'll be going up to the principal first day of school." And he's screaming at this kid like spittle, like it's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And there's like 4 or 5 people walking, and there's a woman pushing a baby stroller that's about to walk past them, and she just stops and goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I'm a teacher. It's okay." And she goes,
"No, it isn't."
I don't know what she said, but she said something else. I only caught the first thing. She said something else. And then he was like, "Oh, but he's a student at the school." And she's like, "What the?" And she goes to the kid, "Are you okay, honey?" Like, and he's like, "Oh," because he's a kid. He's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And then the kid, you know, the coach says something. The kid puts his helmet on, and the coach. I've immediately typecast him, but this guy rides off. And I was left standing there, just in like a stunned kind of situation where I was like, I should have intervened, but it was just far enough that I would have had to run to catch up. And then I was just like a deer in the headlights in this moment. And I just thought to myself, that woman with her stroller is a fucking badass, because her instant reaction was like, you can't fucking talk to a kid like that.
Yeah.
Because my head, as I was walking after that, I was like, this is how this guy talks to these kids all the time, presumably. This isn't
most likely, yeah.
This is his level of respect for the children he teaches. This motherfucker has no business teaching children. It's a fucking power trip for him. And he was screaming some shit about how it's illegal. And I kept thinking, like, well, then wouldn't you want the kid to not wear the helmet, to get caught, to face the consequences, to learn the lesson, instead of it becoming like an artificial school lesson for this kid? Like, I don't know. It was insane. And so that really threw my energy off for the whole day. It was a weird way to start.
It's a weird one because why would you care? You know, it doesn't affect you.
Uniform.
Doesn't affect you at all. It has absolutely no impact on you whatsoever. You've gone out of your way to be a fucking massive piece of shit. And it's weird and it's awkward, and I don't know what, like, he's walking around thinking like, I did the right thing today. Fucking okay.
He goes home to his wife, and she's like, "How was your day?" And he's like, "Babe, I fucking pwned this kid."
Tell you what I did today, babe. Saved a life. Put on that song, How to Save a Life. I want to bask in it. So, let me just get down on my tunes. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere alone in the bitterness.
I saw this kid wearing a helmet, and like and so here's my dilemma now, because I'm like, well, the school
running from the back. Hey, old guy. Oh guys,
don't be a prick.
Oh guys, I caught up. I agree with the woman with the pram. Yeah, it's great, by the way. I'm on that side.
She
don't be a fucking piece of shit. Hey, kid with no helmet, you chill, dude. It's cool. Do a bunny hop. You know,
do a bunny hop. The thing is, though, like, I know where the school is. I guarantee that a teacher like that, with that attitude, that rides a bike like that turns up to work looking like that, is immediately identifiable. So it's like, do you just call the front office and be like, I would like to make a complaint about a teacher? But then it's like, what if
Greg
you
again?
Full context?
Is it Greg? Is Greg? Well, let me guess. Let me paint you a picture. Cunt in an aerodynamic suit. Yeah, that's Greg. Yeah,
that's Greg. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a decision that I have to make at some point tomorrow. But anyway, just really a fucking weird way to start the day. You know what I mean?
Also a weird way for him to start his day. You know what I mean? He's at 1,000. He is at 1,000 just having... What is
he? What is teaching that day?
Does he pull up his little like morning routine checklist? He's like 15 minutes of headspace meditation, check. Oatmeal, absolutely. Got a write in. Bet your buns I did. Quick 10K. Scream at a local child. Fuck yeah, I did. It's like chill out, dude.
Do you think he was in withdrawal because they've been on holiday, so he hasn't had his fix of screaming at a kid for 2 weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he needed that.
He needs that to feel alive as a man. Yeah. So anyway, fully fuck that guy. And yeah, I might
saved
just
a life though. He
like,
saved a life though. So it's hard to argue with his method because of the life that he saved.
I don't think
Where
the
did
kid
I
doing
go wrong? I scream at kids.
7K,
you know,
it doesn't. Yeah.
David, my roommate keeps putting dead mice in the fridge. A little while ago, I went to the kitchen, and on a hunch, I opened the freezer, and my roommate's mice were back in there. I like that he started this by being like, this is clearly an ongoing issue for me.
This is a recurring problem.
Can you believe this piece of shit put them back in the fridge again? You have come into this story, and the story's already begun, and that's what I love about it. You know what I mean?
We're gonna cut to 3 weeks earlier at some point. Yeah.
I was pretty pissed this time. So after I put them all back in the cooler and wiped the freezer down again, I got my bike lock and put it through the handles on the fridge.
All right. Normal reaction.
My roommate came and confronted me and told me to unlock it. I told him I would unlock it if he wanted to get any food for himself, but he wasn't putting those mice back in the fridge. He said I was being a dick and that they were completely sealed. I told him, I don't care if they're completely sealed, dude. I don't want dead mice in my fridge. I've talked to him about this several times, but he keeps doing it. The bags are technically sealed, but I still think it's disgusting. I want him to stop. Suggestions?
Absolute all-time opener for a question, by the way.
The best.
My roommate won't stop putting the dead mice back in the fridge, even though I've talked to him about it.
Dear internet, you'll never fucking guess what he's done again. Yeah, that's right.
Dear Gossip Girl, my roommate, like, what do you mean? Well, this is, first of all...
Yeah, it cuts to him cleaning, holding a dead mice, cleaning the freezer, and it freeze frames. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here again. You know?
Again.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack here, isn't there?
The bike lock through the handles, fully locking him out of all sustenance.
I don't understand. Hang on. I don't understand what that, because if you just put the bike lock through the handles in the fridge, couldn't you just open both doors at once? How is that preventing ingress?
However it works, he's locked out of the fridge.
He's locked out.
The bike lock has prevented it's prevented him from accessing the fridge in any capacity.
Oh, I guess if you we'll just have to, James, we have no choice but to buy it because the other guy's pissed. Now, this is a classic roommate. Well, it's not a classic roommate kerfuffle. It's a classic roommate kerfuffle plus 20. You know what I'm saying? Because it's sort of
plus dead rats.
They keep leaving the toothpaste on the. This is like dead rat enters picture. Stakes get raised immediately. Okay.
Yes.
The obvious solution, and listen. Obviously, don't go out and don't go out and make dead animals. But if you have access to get other dead animals, the obvious solution, you always have to try this on for size.
Right.
Is an eye for an eye. Could you start leaving dead something else, maybe cane toad something else in the freezer and the fridge to, taste your own medicine?
I don't think it's going to rattle him, to be honest. This guy is...
You think he's too...
He's already completely, fully comfortable with having sealed bags of dead rats in his fridge. I don't think you're going to... You know what I mean? It's like someone's like, oh, my roommate won't stop watching horror movies. So my plan is to gross him out even more with even more shocking horror movie. You know what I mean? It's like it's not going to work.
He's just going to love it.
Yeah.
He's going to love it. What if you put them in his bed?
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Godfather style. Each time he puts a mice in the fridge, you put a cane toad in his bed.
Yeah. Or whatever you've got access to, you know.
Hey,
Magpie,
whatever's close by.
You know, whatever you find.
Probably mice, actually.
Probably possum.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, hey.
Suck
we know it. We know it fucking sucks. We know it's going to be stanky. We know it's going to be weird. Okay? But it gets results.
It is an escalation.
But
though.
It gets
It's an escalation,
results.
and it gets results, or it gets retaliation is my concern. We want something that is like that has no recourse other than to stop putting the mice in the fridge / freezer.
Okay.
My concern with this is we might just start having stuff in our bed.
I absolutely get what you're saying. You're saying the +1, the unfortunate likely outcome for that scenario is retaliation, which is I wake up, dead possum in my bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this once, okay? But if you go the hardest you've ever gone on that first dead possum, and we do a couple of dead animals, and we even splash animal blood around the room, right?
Yep. Now we're talking.
We just go fully unhinged, fucking insane off the bat first move.
So not proportional a response.
Exactly. We want them to be afraid to retaliate.
Right. We're trying to hit a home run, not get to first base.
We are trying to sock some dingers, okay? And there is only one way to do it, and that is by going unhinged, off the bat, first move, insane crazy. Because now, that dude's going to be like, oh yeah, I put like one possum in his bed. Oh God, what is he going to do back to me? Because I remember what he did the first time around.
That was one possum.
Yeah.
What if I need to do 2 possum? What if I need to do 3 possum? Is he just going to burn the flat down at that point?
With the meat inside of it? Chained to the fridge?
Chained to the bed?
Yes.
Is he going to put possum inside of me somehow?
Now, we can only imagine that Dead Mice in the Fridge, because he has...
Great band name. Dead Mice in the Fridge?
We're assuming he has a snake, right?
Sorry?
We're assuming he has a snake. He's feeding the rats to a snake.
That's the sane reason to have rats, yeah.
Okay. We're hoping that he has... We are really hoping that he has...
We really want him to have a snake.
Otherwise...
Would you?
It could be that he either is into taxidermy, which I'm okay with, or he's eating the rats. They're a delicacy that he loves. At which point...
Just quick...
At which point, a dead rat in the freezer, I guarantee you, is not going to be worse than a dead rat in a frying pan, because that stank gone travel. Okay, that's going to get into the fibers of stuff. So we hope snake.
We've done a lot of advice in the past about roommates cooking nasty stuff. It happens, and this seems pretty nasty. This isn't like fish. This is like next level.
This isn't like fish. This is like rat. Yeah.
Check in on snakes, James. Would you live with someone that owned a snake?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
would, because you're cool. Yeah.
No, I don't particularly think owning like a snake is cool. No offense to anyone, any snake people out there.
I didn't mean owning a snake was cool. I meant you're just generally a cool dude that is cool with stuff. You're a chill guy.
I mean, like if it's not affecting me, man, I'm really not. If you're not hurting me or others, I'm pretty much okay with it across the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just couldn't, because I'm too afraid. Even if it's not a snake that would hurt me, looking at it would freak me out.
Right.
I had a lot of childhood trauma.
You don't want to wake up one night frozen in your bed and look down and be mid swallow of an anaconda. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Have I know that we're coming to the end of this episode. Have I told the anecdote of me getting shat on by a snake on this version of the advisory?
You got shit on by a snake.
So when I was like 7, we went to like an RSPCA trade show at the convention center where like it's mostly a family. It's in part a family event where you can go take your kids and they can meet all different animals. But it's also like a trade show where it's like, oh, this person's a breeder of this, and you can go and buy animals and stuff.
For sure, yeah.
And
here's
they
the
were
snake.
doing a show.
And here's the snake scat play zone as well, if you'd like to see that.
So they're doing a show on the stage, and they're bringing out big different animals, and they're like, oh, and they bring out this big python, and this dude's handling this giant python, and they're like, if you're brave, you can come up and touch it. And I looked at my stepbrother, and he's like, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
And me and my brother were like, fuck it, why not? Like, it's I'm still a dumb kid, whatever. It's a no risk situation. So we go.
What's the worst thing that could happen to me other than death?
Well, an experience that will traumatize you for life and never quite leave you, that comes up in therapy a lot. So my brother goes before me, pats the snake, no dramas, walks off stage. I go up, and the snake, I don't know how else to explain it other than toward its tail, a hose of shit that is like yellow liquid.
No.
And when I say hose, I'm not playing it up.
Yeah.
It soaks me from I'm covered in snake
shit. Toe to tip, you are soaked in snake shit.
And I'm standing there and the guy, as it's happening, the guy is narrating into his mouthpiece going, oh folks, this is a special treat. This type of This type of constrictor only needs to defecate once every 7 years. This is a rare and
ladies and gentlemen, the stars have aligned. Okay, this never happens. Okay, so you're gonna have some really bad cosmic karmic debt to be in the position behind the snake when it soaks your toe to tip in snake shit. And here it is.
The tone of his voice, James, was as if he had won like several $1,000s on the lotto. He was like, this is not like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And
it's a wonderful, he's never seen it before. This is, it's a once in a lifetime experience.
It never shits on kids live on stage. It never happens. Statistically unlikely.
Yeah. And he's thinking, I'm so glad we're filming this. This is going on the website. If
you guys are wondering when the moment was that I became incapable of believing in God and that coincidence is just coincidence, it was that moment, because someone did the math at some point on one of the many shows I've done, and it was like, it's like 1 in like some million chance, and unlikely, but it happens all the time.
So anyway, you think some divine being orchestrated this event,
the opposite,
to absolutely shower you in shit, is what you think happened?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if God is real, he's a dick. And I don't want any part of that. And just probability wise, it was bound to happen at some point.
For sure.
I statistically could have been the kid on stage. So I'm fully shell shocked, just not really sure what's happened. And he's kind of like vamping the crowd and like doing his bit about how it's unlikely, whatever. And then it takes a moment for it to sink in that I'm not going anywhere. I'm just standing there.
You're part of the show now.
My brain is switched off internally. Like, all the circuits are dead upstairs. And so my mum kind of comes up out of the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a rare occurrence, and quite frankly, we never get to experience this. So if you'll all start lining up at the stage, you'll all get to smell firsthand what a big old snake shit smells like. This is so rare. We never know what this smells like because we never get to see it or experience it.
Never get to see it.
Yeah.
So mom kind of shepherds me off stage, and we go to the ladies' bathroom, and this is where it gets even more traumatizing. So because she doesn't really have any other option here. She's like, well, just get undressed and we'll just try and rinse everything in the sink. And so I'm stood in my knickers.
Oh no.
7 and embarrassed in the women's bathroom, stinking like snake shit. while my mum tries valiantly to rinse my clothes off.
Yeah.
And try to get this sorted as quickly as possible before we have to go back and meet up with the new guy that she's been dating and my brother and his kid. And it was one of those experiences, like the thing I remember the most vividly is sitting on the edge of sitting on the sink, like the return of the vanity.
Yeah.
And watching my mom try and rinse snake shit out of my clothes while I sort of feebly tried to cover up as much of my chubby little body as possible from the grown women coming in to just do their business who don't care.
For sure.
It was pretty horrific.
And so snake shit, I'm assuming, is like, it's all just like the one thing. It's the shit and the piss just all in the one
it's
sort
one
of
fluid. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I can't express how.
And so at some point in that day, you are now soaked, saturated, head to toe in water and snake shit and piss. Just a damp snake shitty piss smell baked into the clothes, and you're just sort of chuffing around damp.
Yeah, well, we went this won't shock you. We went home immediately afterwards.
Yeah, that tracks.
On account of, again, being soaked in the single fluid that is the snake shit and piss.
One of the rarest fluids on the planet, yeah.
So, like, even just statistically, that makes me unique, but not in a way that I wanted. I don't think that shaped any part of my life in a meaningfully positive way.
But what I think is great about that, though, is that if you ever apply to be on one of those dating shows or like a Married at First Sight, you can really sizzle reel the producers by saying, "Hey, I'm David. You know, I live in Brisbane. I work in tech. Podcast. You know, I moonlight as a podcaster. And fun fact about me, I have been absolutely saturated head to toe in one of the rarest liquids on the planet. Send me through to the next round, guys, and you will hear all about it."
Yeah, in that particular scenario, it could be beneficial.
Yeah.
Although I will say, my therapist theory is that it's why I'm so obsessed with like personal hygiene. Like, it's why I'm over obsessed with it. It's because of that moment.
Yes.
Where I'm like, well, I don't want to smell bad ever to anyone for any reason. On account of that one time again,
it's certainly not.
I was soaked in snake piss and shit.
For sure. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. So there's sort of like a clear, there's a clear sort of connection between those two things. So
if being a clean boy was a superhero power, that would be my origin story.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
it's Daredevil. Daredevil gets like hit in the eyes with that sort of
the ooze.
The ooze, radioactive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style ooze. And
it's the same ooze in the original comics.
Well, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was supposed to be a parody of Daredevil, or the other way around, one of those two things. I can't remember what the origin story is.
Daredevil was a parody of Batman, and then when they redid it, when the TMNT was still running, they then retconned it to be like, well, yeah, the ooze that made the Turtles also blinded Daredevil and gave him his powers.
Yeah. So just to be clear, big old Shredder, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, their Rat Dad, and Daredevil.
Well, no, the Rat Dad happened before that.
All of those people are connected under the umbrella of ooze.
There's a really good interview with Charlie Cox where he's talking about the success. It's like during season 3 of Daredevil, the Netflix show, and an interviewer's like, oh, like, you know, she's talking shit or whatever, and he just wheels out this like, and it sounded like a prepared monologue where he starts to explain all of this in precise chronological order, and like lists out the comic book titles and I was like, she asked you like what you thought of the sets, and he's like, yeah, actually you'll find that the TMNT, I was right, Charlie Cox, great actor, not great in interviews, I don't think. It was very weird, and you could tell she was like, oh, I never knew that.
And nor do I think anyone did, so thank you.
No, why would you?
Colin says in the chat, Daredevil is a parody of TMNT. Everyone knows this. So, hey, what am I, 1 for 2? Potentially 2 for 2. I've said 2 things on this podcast that I wasn't sure about because I didn't look them up and I was unaware. So
we never look.
Let me know.
We can't look anything up. It's not how it works.
I think we did it. You know, I think we solved it. Another one in the bag. Another episode absolutely soaked in snake piss. And what a journey. What a journey it was, wasn't it?
It's me, your piss boy, signing off.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming, watching, listening. Before we get out of here, Friday Night Fright Fest. Don't forget that every Friday in October at 6 p.m. AEST, we'll be screening a horror movie right here on twitch.tv/Black Swan Society. Carve it right now with a knife into your calendar and come celebrate the spooky season each and every Friday at 6 p.m. AEST. Like fucking Michael Myers, dude. You just can't kill that shit, you know? It's going to come back every week in October.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, really quick, if you're in Brisbane, if you're a Brisbaneite, be sure to check out it's called BORF, Brisbane Only Repulsive Liquid Film Festival. It's put on by the gang at 2-Bit Cinema Club, feature presentation, Netherworld and New Farm Cinemas. It's a 2-week film festival with a curated selection of 12 movies, spanning 1968 to 1993, each featuring slime, sludge, ooze, goops, mystery liquids, and toxic waste. Very on brand for this episode. A lot of mystery liquids in this episode. A lot of ooze in this episode. They are, you know, we're talking 1988's The Blob remake. We're talking Ghostbusters 2, Reanimated, The Fly, Toxic Avenger. The list goes on. It's been showing every Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday since the 22nd of September at New Farm Cinema. There's 2 weeks left. Check out borlf.com, BORLFF.com. Get yourself a ticket. Check out some cool gloopy art. Grab a special Borlf-made beer and celebrate the gloopiness of art, horror, and sci-fi, David. Do it now.
Gloop it up.
You can find the socials and the email in the show notes, theadvisorypodcast@gmail.com, youtube.com/at Black Swan Society. Check in the show notes. It's all there. Join us live every Thursday at 6 p.m. AEST, live here on twitch.tv/Black Swan Society. Chuck us a rating and review on your podcast catcher of choice. And that's going to do it. David, what an ep.
Wow.
You know, what a journey that we've been on.
We started in a normal place and we ended with the snake piss and shit. So
did we start in a normal place? Because we started with a guy who sort of professed his long-lasting deep fantasies to an old high school dance partner, really.
I think that's less weird than my thing. I mean, it's not good, but like...
Isn't that... But think about that, though. We went from a dance partner, unrequited love, and an awkward interaction all the way to snake shit and piss in one episode. That's a journey.
What can't we do? What can't we do, James? Unstoppable.
Come back next week to find out the second rarest liquid David has ever been showered in. I'll give you a hint. It's covered in fur. I'll see you next week.